All right, Grenada, Carriacopidi, again, the rest of the world. We would like to welcome you to another Mikey Life program. People, this is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. And we have so many things to tell you about, folks. There's never a dull moment on the program. Of course, if you're looking at this program for the first time, we'd like to welcome you. And of course, if you're always on the program, well, welcome back. If you have not yet done so, we'd like to encourage you to share the program. You see, when you share the program, that's how other people get to know that we are live. So people, go ahead and share the business. So let's see what it is that we have that's making the headline for tonight. All right, guys? Now, the people in Carriacou, I see that things are heating up for your carnival. So we want to send in a special way hello to you guys, all right? And wishing you all the best for your carnival. It may just be the first carnival in many years that you will not be seeing me. You know what I mean? Yeah, when duty calls. Not booty, duty. Like duty? Right, when duty calls. All right, in the headlines, MWAG, that's the Media Workers Association of Grenada, they have appointed 2 new executive members after resignation. NAWASA is updating the general public on the GCF project, and Boris Johnson insists first deportation of Caribbean nationals since Windrush scandal must go ahead. And the UK man who faked being a doctor tried to kill his family to cover up his lies. It's a bizarre story that we'd like to share with you. And Finland is to give dads same paternal leave as moms. So we have that and more to tell you about. There have been several unsolved murder cases in St. Lucia that we'll be taking a look at, if time permits, on tonight's program. All right, so we have a lot of things really to talk about tonight. So all to get comfortable, get something to drink, get something to eat, organize all the business. We're taking our first break, and when we come back, folks, it's gonna be real news. And when we say it's real news in Oli Lili Lolo. So stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th, at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th, bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Granand, St. George.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
St. Paul's Sports, Cultural and Development Organization presents St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza on Sunday, 9th February 2020 at the St. Paul's Community Center. Get breakfast from 6 a.m. and lunch from 12 noon. Enjoy performances by Dash, Mystic Band, Oasis Band, Laura Lisa, Conception Dance Theatre, Comanchero Steel Orchestra, Lisa McDonald, SPGS, PBC Choir, Touch of Grace, Vinue Dances and much more. It's a day of food, craft exhibitions, robotics displays, fashion show and so much more. It's the St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza.
All right, good. So you have to support them thing and them, right? In the name of independence, support whatever it is that is being had. All right. So first of all, we want to tell a little bit of sports and say congratulations to some young stars. All right, let me see if I get a picture for them, boy. I think I had one day, but if not, that is small thing, but I think I do. All right, yes, we want to highlight the champions. So here we go. All right, okay, folks, so look at that. St. David's Catholic Secondary School 2020 champions. Yes, they are the champions of the 2020 Independence Under 15 cricket tournament after defeating St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School SAS by 110 runs. Now, after winning the toss, St. David's Catholic Secondary School chose to bat the first innings and posted 169 for 6 wickets in 35 overs, with Kurt Murray making 58 runs. Now, Kurt Murray was also the top bowler during the second inning against SAS, where he took 3 wickets for 4 runs in 7 overs. Would you believe that? So, congratulations to you guys. All right, yeah, it's good when you can actually just highlight the young stars. Show them up a little bit. Yeah, good. All right, big up Crispin. I see you sharing the thing, all right? So big up yourself. I think Crispin is one of the persons I see. Like, Crispin doesn't even share the thing to me and all, All right. Yeah, telling all the Crispin's sharing to Mikey and all. The next thing that we have to tell all the boys is that the Media Workers Association, they have appointed 2 new members to its executive. Yes, Linda Straker and Caroline Campbell. They have been added to the executive. Now, on Saturday, 1st February 2020, a general meeting was held at the Grenada Boys Secondary School, all right? And the vacant positions in the executive was taken by them, the position of treasurer and second vice president. And that follows the resignation of Mrs. Tonya St. Louis Lawrence and Gerard Joseph. All right, you guys will remember in January, they resigned as executive members, and so the MWAG was left with vacant positions. Now, that gave way to the appointing of 2 persons to fill those positions. Now, the 2 new members will remain on the executive until the next general election, which will be in November of 2020. We are moving on now from the Division of Youth. Now the government is continuing, they say, the efforts of creating employment for youth as it embarks on the second phase of our standards for training, certification and watch keeping. Now, the training falls under the Division of Youth as it embarks on the recruitment and certification of 25 young men and women. It will be held from March 8th to March 16, 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, we have a more comprehensive report on that later on, all right, guys? And that will be in the national report. Now, the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, has welcomed a project manager for the G Cruise, that's the GCREWS project in Grenada. as work will commence for the upgrading of the island's water sector under the Green Climate Fund project. Now, this transformational project in the value of $125 million is the single largest, I repeat, it's the single largest investment in the island's water sector to date, and will ensure that there are significant upgrades to certain systems throughout the island. Now, we have last night, and we told you about it last night, we have a report on that for you from NOASA.
On 27 February 2018, the board of the Green Climate Fund approved the application of Grenada to finance its climate resilience in the water sector in Grenada G-Cruise project. The project proposal, which is the fruit of 2 years of work from the government of Grenada, GIZ and NOASA, introduced a complete paradigm shift in the water sector of Grenada. On 22nd November 2019, the funding appraisal agreement signed between GIZ and GCF became effective, which opened the door for the start of this project. The presence of the head of G-Cruise Water Program for Grenada, Hans Werner Tyson, is welcoming for NOASA, as it will usher what can be described as the start of work for Grenada's single largest investment ever in the water sector of $125 million. 10 water storage tanks will be constructed, coupled with the upgrading of the water distribution network throughout the island.
So you know that at the moment there's not enough storage for the water supply and the island, and the idea is to strengthen the water reservoirs, 2 of the water reservoirs here in the island, so that they can store more water, and then to construct a lot of, really, I think it's more than 9 or 10 different tanks all over the island and also in the other islands in Kariakou, and to make sure that in the case of a hurricane or in the case of a drought, there's enough water available for the people. That was not the case at the moment. Yeah, we have to say that at the moment there's not enough storage space for the people to get enough water during a drought. This is the main part. Also here there's a grant agreement, so-called grant agreement. It's an investment fund for the Ministry of Finance, which will be then implemented by NOASA to build up all these tanks and facilities.
The project addresses 2 main climate risks and vulnerabilities of Grenada: freshwater availability and disaster preparedness.
Within this component, it's not only investment, and that's quite interesting. Also, there are some aspects to increase or to strengthen NOASA in the operation and maintenance, because one thing is to have the infrastructure, but then also very costly. It's really the problem to operate and maintenance it in a sustainable way. And very often in many projects they only look at the investments, but in this case also we have to look at the strengthening capacity development, and there I think NOASA is doing an excellent job already, but there are new technologies like the SCADA system, for example, or also to have emergency plans. There's many topics which are related to the really sustainable operation and maintenance of the systems we are going to implement. So it's not enough only to have the infrastructure, but also to have a good operation and maintenance system. That's very often that's not considered in many projects.
While it is NOASA's aim to have physical construction of facilities started this year, Mr. Tyson says unfortunately it will take some time.
The infrastructure always needs a little bit of time. So we have to do the detailed planning. We have to do all the tender processes for the infrastructure, and then even land acquisition. So that will take some time. That's the normal process. I'm sure that here in the Ministry of Finance and NOASA they are very quick. They're very fast. I know that the general manager of NOASA is very pushing and he wants to start as quick as possible. But these activities really take some time. So I would say that we need at least for the planning, the detailed planning, 1 year, then for the tender maybe some month after that. So hopefully, and if the land acquisition will not take too much time, maybe in 2 years we can start with the buildings. That depends a lot on every site, because every site can be different. Yeah, so we have to look at every tank site where we're going to install the tanks, but I'm sure that it will be done very quickly. And believe me, in comparison to other countries, I'm sure that Grenada is much quicker than many countries I've been working before.
This project supports Grenada's water sector in both reducing its water demand and improving water availability so that the island is able to ensure resilience to climate variability and expected future climate change until 2050.
Thank you very much.
127 February.
Okay, so folks, of course, that's good. We see that we will be getting a significant upgrade with the water system. Thank God for that. All right, folks, so we are moving on, boy. The next thing we have to tell all about, I do not know if we need to worry or if we just need to let this one slide. But Boris Johnson, boy, UK, trouble in paradise. Boris Johnson, he has vowed that the deportation of dozens of Caribbean nationals will go ahead amid evidence, a claim that they are all serious criminals is untrue. All right? Now, the flight to Jamaica, there was, revealed by the Independent, that's a news agency there, is the second since the Windrush scandal erupted and was condemned in the Commons, with calls for the Prime Minister to step in and stop it. Now they are saying that they are going to continue with this. Eh? All you, I don't know how much time I'm telling all you, and I will tell all you again, don't make nobody make all feel no kind of way in the place. Come back home, Grenada nice. Right now, Grenada trending. Don't make nobody make you feel no way in the place. I'm telling all of that, dread. We have to devalue them kind of thing. We cannot give them the belief that their place is better than ours. And that is why we've been treated that way. We understand? We have to show them that we know what we have here. We appreciate what we have here. And this is where we want to be here, even if we're somewhere else. Bring back value home. You Grenada nights one more time. Oh yeah. Continuing to dominate public forums is the issue of dress code for the fancy mask bands and so on for Spice Mass 2020, despite the fact that the SMC CEO stated in an address last night that they will review the new recommendations and will soon update the general public. I guess as much we just want to hear what we want to hear. Then people say they go take a look at the business and will update the public accordingly. So all you just hold on, man. Hold on, we get it. But hold on. Still, the conversation dominates. That's the talk of the day. Panty and bra. Titty and breast. Whole day today, you know. I ain't making it up. Despite, unless people didn't see or didn't hear what the CEO said last night. The CEO said, okay, they get it. They have heard what's going on, seen what's going on in the public, and so the board of directors will revisit, review, and update the general public accordingly. But Jano is talk fast, so some people want to know why is that C string. Well, I Google it and I see what C string is, so I maybe need to Google too. It should have been called a U string because it don't look like a C. It looks like a U. Okay. we are moving on. We have quite a few things to tell you about on the program tonight, so I think we may have to go quicker. Earlier, a failed British medical school student duped his family into believing that he was a qualified doctor and attempted to kill 4 relatives when he feared they'd uncover his lies. And that's according to news reports. Satya Thakur, 35, was sentenced on Monday to 28 years behind bars for attempting to kill his wife, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and sister-in-law in May of 2019 after a stabbing rampage. Thakur met his wife, Nisha, while he studied biochemistry at the London University. And he failed his exam to qualify as a doctor. All right? A shortcoming that he never revealed to his wife's family, nor his wife. And instead, guess what? He pretended that he was a practicing physician for as long as a decade. That's 10 years, you know. He pretended to the people closest to him that he was a doctor. Now, he visited a library, according to reports, every day to read medical books so that he could brush up on professional lingo, and even pretended to work night shifts. Now, when the wife suggested that they take a dream vacation to Los Angeles with their daughter, he knew he couldn't keep up the facade much longer because he didn't have the money for that trip. So he planned to kill his mother-in-law to buy some time, according to a report. Thakur lunged at Laxman lunged at her with a knife while trying to cover her head with a pillow. Now that was on May 14. Now Nisha heard what was going on and then tried to intervene. Then the man turned his attention to his wife, stabbing her in the neck at least once, again in the leg as well. His brother-in-law entered the fray, but he too was attacked, according to report. Now, the accused man also stabbed his sister-in-law, who was sleeping in the room next door. He was later convicted in December of 3 counts of attempted murder for the attacks of his wife, mother-in-law, and brother-in-law. Listener, he was convicted of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm for the attack of his sister-in-law. And all they want to play all the thing in Akim. That's what I was coming to. All it was already. And all they want to say, Akim bad. Akim is a novice compared to this guy. This guy went all out so that he could continue his facade of pretending to be a doctor, going so far as attempting to kill the mother of his child, the woman who breathes in his face at night, so that he could continue to live a lie. I never hear her yet. We are moving on. Folks, Grenada's police may not be perfect, but for the most part, do a really good job at solving serious crime. Needless to say, those that involve drugs and weapons and you know the sort. In St. Lucia, however, I am not sure the police will be as proud, as we have one report that takes a look into a series of unsolved, high-profile crimes in St. Lucia.
Isaac's pronouncements on the shooting death of CCC councillor Victor Maurice have resulted in a wave of reactions in the public sphere. The health minister, calling crime, quote, big business, boldly asserted that Maurice's killing was a contracted execution and that the mastermind, she alleges, is someone in high office. And the public speculation, which began following the November shooting, have now loudened. But assertions of this nature are not new and have featured in a number of high-profile murders occurring on island over the past decade and a half at least. Most are to date unsolved. On June 25, 2007, Marcia Filbert Jules, ex-wife of now OECS Director General Dr. Didicus Jules, was found lying in a pool of blood at her home in Grand Riviere, Groselet, with multiple stab wounds to her body. Investigators say Jules, who at the time of her death was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Planning, fought her attackers based on evidence at the scene. 5 youngsters, all under 20, were initially arrested, and a 15-year-old was charged for the homicide. Speculation pointed to a robbery gone wrong, but nothing was stolen. The last homicide for that year, 2007, was that of Michael Fede. The 57-year-old had not long before his death retired as SLASPA's deputy general manager. Fede was shot in his head outside his home in the island's north. Just over 12 years on, there has been no break in the case. Andrew Baptiste, corporate loans officer at the ECFH Bank of St. Lucia, was found lying at the entrance of his Sunny Acres home in January 2011. Baptiste's lifeless body, according to official police reports, was discovered by his common-law wife. Initial speculation pointed to the banker walking in on a robbery in progress. Neighbors, however, felt otherwise, particularly following eyewitness reports of 2 men fleeing the scene via motorcycle. In addition, nothing was stolen. Andrew Baptiste's murder remains unsolved as well. In April 2014, the charred remains of hotel executive Oliver Ollie Gobat were discovered in his equally charred Range Rover SUV at a remote area of Cap Estate. The autopsy revealed that Gobat, the son of owners of the Cap Mazor Luxury Hotel, received a gunshot wound to the head before the fire. Gobat's murder, described as execution style, is still under investigation, but speculation has been rife from the onset that it was a contracted killing. Even with the involvement of the Scotland Yard in the background, arrests are yet to be made. Cheryl Clark, community leader and advocate for peace and non-violence in inner city communities, was gunned down in June 2016 as she exited a bar near Brazil Street. Clark passed away under the surgical knife. There have been no arrests in relation to the incident. A year earlier, her husband, Asher B.J. Emmanuel, was fatally shot as well. And the latest, Councillor Victor Maurice, whose death has left many questions. Described as a man who, quote, wouldn't hurt a fly. Those who knew him were at a loss as to why someone would want to take his life. But Health Minister Senator Mary Isaac appeared to have some information, boldly stating last week that it was a hit called by someone in high office. As to why, individuals close to Victor Maurice told NBC Prime that they were unaware of his involvement in any disputes, save for one, which involves allegations of corruption at the Castries Constituencies Council. And amid calls for the health minister to be questioned in relation to the murder as a result of her pronouncement, NBC Prime reached out to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. A statement from the desk of Acting Commissioner Milton Daisy says, quote, the RSLPF investigates all information pertaining to matters under investigation. There are no biases and we follow all leads wherever they take us, end quote. Now, it must be noted as well that the Health Minister's assertions endorse statements in the CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security report or impacts on the probe into the alleged extrajudicial police killings during 2009 to 2010's Operation Restore Confidence. Allegations were made that corrupt businessmen, government officials, police officers, and politicians are the ones facilitating the crime problem on St. Lucia. Now, as to how much one's life is worth, sources also tell NBC Prime that contracted killings can go for as little as $300, but adds that some have killed for less, even shoes. And that's it for this NBC Special Report. I am Miguel Fabre.
I tell you, Miguel is a boss, you know. Y'all don't want to believe me. The guy is really good. You know what I mean? Thank you very much, Miguel, for that special report right there, all right? We are moving on. Okay, so the next thing that we have to tell you, very interesting, is that Finland's new government has announced plans to give all parents the same parental leave in a push to get fathers to spend more time with their children. Paid allowance will increase to a combined 14 months, which works out as 164 days per parent. Now, neighboring Sweden has Europe's most generous system of parental leave, with 240 days each after a baby's birth. Finland says it wants to promote well-being and gender equality. Thought that was a really interesting story to share with you guys. Of course, here you don't get that kind of thing. And when we talk about equality in Grenada and gender equality, we are talking about things that favors women, but never the men. And so I thought that was a very interesting article worth sharing with you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a bit heavy. And so what we want to do is lighten things up for you a bit with our entertainment piece for tonight. This piece is by one of the most trending soca songs and artists in the Caribbean right now, who hails from Grenada, Carriacou to be exact, Skinny Banton, as he performed last Sunday at the International Groovy Semi-Final in Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, here is his performance, What I Do Wrong Again.
I'm fed up with all you finish you got me killed. I don't want to hate on love, all I got, but sometimes I keep debating. She said she only lover, she only friend. We take her with, I keep regret. I sleep on a hard and dream, wake up and I make a vow. Soon as everything coming someone out, but I do wrong again. Tell me what I do wrong again. People call me name, lad. Oh, lad, lad. They say afternoon Soca Monarch semi-finals. All who happy to be here, Popian. Anybody inside you survive on before? If you overcome any disappointment before, just wave with me. Just wave with me, let me see you. Right now we're going to build back a little confidence in ourselves. Right? So we're not going home and argue with the woman no more. No more. Right? And we're not going to have no kind of abuse in the home. When you go home after a hard day of work, all you want to do is take a nice rest, get a nice little massage. We don't want no domestic violence. Say no to domestic violence. Anyway, this is how the thing go. We leave, we make up, we break up again. She tell me that the last time and she won't cause me pain. I always leave her to go out and have she fun. When I ask her some, she telling me how I can get none. What I do wrong again, Lord? Tell me what I do wrong again. Oh Lord, oh God. People call it with name. They say again. What everybody take a wine, let me go. They push and cut it. The girl in her pocket. Put it fruit in her pocket. But the judge she keep on complaining. When I do it, they say put your back into it. Oh Lord, I try. Play me look. And everything. What I do wrong again? Oh Lord, tell me what I do wrong again. Tell me what I do wrong again. People calling me name. Oh Lord, they say again. Thank you very much. Bless you.
In lad. Oi. Tell me what I do wrong again.
Oh Lord, God.
People calling me name, lad. Oi. Now, folks, that's a song and a performance that earned him a spot in the final of the International Soca Monarch. So, you know, Grenada, once again, will be going to mash up the place, of course. We're going to stamp our authority in the place and let them know how this thing is done. Right. What we have for you folks coming up right now is a short break, and when we return, we will have for you the national report. So we take a quick break and return shortly.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th, at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park.
Fresh as the summer breeze.
12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th, bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes. From as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand Anse, St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
St. Paul's Sports, Cultural and Development Organization presents St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza on Sunday, 9th February 2020 at the St. Paul's Community Center. Get breakfast from 6 a.m. and lunch from 12 noon. Enjoy performances by Dash, Mystic Band, Oasis Band, Laura Lisa, Conception Dance Theatre, Comanchero Steel Orchestra, Lisa McDonald, SPGS, PBC Choir, Touch of Grace, Vinue dances and much more. It's a day of food, craft exhibitions, robotics displays, fashion show and so much more. It's the St. Paul's Independence Extravaganza.
Alrighty, so folks, here we are, and we just wanted to tell you about this before we move forward on the program. The first ever silent event in Carriacou, and that's going to happen on the 8th of February, and it's happening at CHS Center in Hillsborough. Admission $35 and time is 10 p.m. DJs Kareem from Grenada and Kenny and a specialist from Carriacou. So it's an event that you should check out. All right, guys. Now we have for you the national report. Here goes.
Chinese ambassador assures that Grenadian students in China are safe. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Wednesday, February 5th, 2020, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Chinese Ambassador His Excellency Dr. Zhao Yongchen says Grenadian students are safe in China and should remain there until their studies are over. He was speaking to members of the media on Wednesday to address concerns about the coronavirus outbreak in China. February 4th, China recorded 24,324 cases of the coronavirus pneumonia. 490 persons died as a result, and 892 have been cured and discharged. The ambassador said there is no need for panic.
Since the outbreak of the novel coronavirus epidemic, the Chinese government has been taking the most comprehensive and prevention and control measures with a high sense of responsibility for people's health. All things considered, the epidemic can be contained, controlled, and treated. There is no need for people to panic or overreact.
He says both the Chinese embassy in Grenada and the government are in close communication with the embassy in China to keep abreast with developments relating to the 11 Grenadian students in Wuhan.
All students from Grenada studying in Wuhan, their safety have attracted high attention of Grenadian people. The Chinese embassy in Grenada has been in close communication with the Grenadian government and the Grenadian embassy in China to address their concerns and needs in a timely manner. I have to say that they are safe in China, attaching high importance to the well-being of foreign nationals in China, especially Wuhan, Hubei province. China has taken effective measures to ensure the living conditions of Grenadian citizens and citizens from other countries in China.
The ambassador is confident China will win the war in the fight against the coronavirus. The Youth Division is hoping that a training session in safety at sea will contribute to a reduction in youth unemployment numbers. The training is being spearheaded by the division, which is urging seafarers in Grenada to take advantage of the upcoming opportunity. We get more in this June Paul report.
Government is continuing in its efforts of creating employment for youth as it embarks on the second phase of a standard for training certification and watchkeeping. The training falls under the Division of Youth as it embarks on the recruitment and certification of 25 young men and women. It will be held from March 8th to March 16th, 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago. Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Youth, Norman Gilbert, says the training focuses on a number of areas, particularly addressing the issue of youth unemployment.
The whole issue of youth unemployment is one that we have been battling with for a number of years, and government has been trying to find opportunities where we can engage young people. Obviously, with the expected increase and improvement in terms of our tourism industry, a number of hotels and marinas are currently being constructed. We believe that that's an opportunity for persons to gain employment, and also with the number of yachts and fishing vessels that come to our shores on a daily basis, seeking persons who have the skill to work on board. We believe that government would be able to at least contribute to creating employment for a number of young persons.
This follows a successful first phase where 25 young men were trained. Mr. Gilbert says registration is now open for persons within the marine industry.
We have started the application process, and we want to encourage young persons who obviously have interest in the marine industry, whether it's in boating or captaining vessels or being able to live a life on the seas. And if you are going to be investing in any area in the seamanship, we expect that this certification is key.
The Permanent Secretary says all arrangements have been made with the training institution in Trinidad to facilitate the process.
There will be a committee responsible for looking at shortlisting and doing the actual selection of the applicants. And of course, that has to be done by February 15th. And the persons who are so selected will be called in. There are some prerequisites that they need to also be able to complete for the training, which would include eye examination and a general work done by a medical doctor to ensure that when these people go to the training, which obviously will be intense, there will be a lot of swimming activities, a lot of diving activities, rescue activities at sea. And so we ought to make sure that they are healthy.
Funding for the program is provided through the United Nations Development Program and the Government of Grenada. Reporting for the Ministry of Youth, I am June Paul.
Thank you, June. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Grenada, it's time to celebrate our 46th anniversary as an independent nation as we prepare for the future through empowerment, growth, and long-term sustainable development. Let's show our true patriotism by participating in the following events. The National Cleanup Drive from February 1st to 6th. And wait, that's not all. The National Colors Day and Inter-Ministries Competition on February 6th. Then, on February 7th, we head to the Made in Grenada Expo and Military Parade at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Happy 46th, Grenada!
Welcome back. The Worcester Hall Secondary School on Wednesday was commended by the Grenada National Training Agency for excellent execution of its skilled-based training CVQ program. The institution was also the recipient of an HP computer, keyboard, and other accessories to be used for the CVQ training. GNTA's Marketing and Communications Officer, Mrs. K. Julian Gutu, says the donation forms part of the agency's 10th anniversary celebrations outreach program. She applauded the Worcester Hall Secondary for being the first to adopt the CVQ training and for enhancing and broadening the scope of skills development among the students.
It came to our attention that the Worcester Hall Secondary School CVQ construction class needed a computer for its operations. And this was the ideal gift to give to the school. So today we have a complete computer system, and Mr. Tommy Nicholas will tell you more about it, a CPU, monitor, etc., that will ensure that you will put to good use in your program here at the school. And as your vice principal noted, the school was the first to have graduates in the CVQ in schools program, to graduate students, and also from the construction program. So we are very happy with the achievements of Wester Hall Secondary School. You are doing great work here at this school in terms of the CVQ, and I know that you have other programs outside of construction also within the CVQ ambit. So we are very happy at the NTA to be working with Wester Hall Secondary School, and keep up the good work.
The National Training Agency partnered with Venture 473 to make the donation to the secondary school. Its founder, Tommy Nicholas, explained why he accepted the opportunity to give back to skills development in Grenada.
Skills training is sort of close to my heart. When I moved to New York in 2004, one of my first jobs was as an electrical installation technician. And I was privy to get that skill in Grenada, being part of, I was a student at McDonald College, and we had a 2-year training at the Multipurpose Center in St. Patrick's. So skills is close to my heart, you know, and we look forward to providing a lot more help throughout Grenada.
Principal Bernadette Samuel is happy that her institution is making its mark in skills development.
We believe that students should gain hands-on experience to make them industry ready so as to provide them with the requirements needed for employment. Over the years, we have noted that our students gravitate more towards the technical and skills areas as opposed to other disciplines. We have students here with varying abilities, needs, and interests. And so we developed and participate in programs that would foster, encourage, and cater for their development and enrichment. The success of any educational program is dependent on the use of technology.
Finally in the news, music lovers are eagerly anticipating the second annual Grenada Music Festival, which promises something for everyone. During a media launch at Pier 57 this week, some of the top names in the music business were revealed as part of this year's lineup. They include well-known Jamaican artists Cocotte, Marcia Griffith, and Romaine Virgo. Other acts include Nadia Batson and Crossfire, Dash, Vaughn, Lavaman, Cool and the Gang, Solid, the Band, and Sabrina. Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Music Festival, Steve Duncan, says by far during his over 20 years in the business, this year proves to be the most challenging. But with a dedicated team, patrons can expect a great weekend of music and fun at a quarantine park. He says the reviews and outcomes of the 2019 inaugural event proved that there is a calendar spot for the Grenada Music Festival.
We were able to not just sell the product Grenada Music Festival as a musical experience, but to sell Grenada as an experience, in that people would come and enjoy our safety, our people, our culture, our music, which is unique, and also experience Grenada and all that it has to offer as a destination. So we're not just selling a concert, we're selling Grenada the experience. So it's very important that we all become ambassadors, so to speak, for the festival and go out there and sell the festival to not just people at home, but people in the region and beyond.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Desiree Stevens, gave the assurance that her ministry seizes the opportunity to collaborate with individuals and organizations that are serious and committed about showcasing the culture and talent of our people.
This event serves as an opportunity for us to showcase our talent, but also for locals to socialize and be entertained. It's an avenue for us to come out and have fun. We cry out a lot of times for more activities where we can come out and have good, enjoyable fun, and this is an opportunity to do so. So patrons can witness how these artists, these regional and international artists, take this business seriously and make a career out of it.
CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Patricia Ma, says the Grenada Music Festival is another valuable platform to showcase and give exposure to the many talents and scenic spots that pure Grenada has to offer.
The Grenadian hospitality was second to none, And I just absolutely loved how the visitors mixed and mingled with everybody. So yeah, the rhythm never stops. We have to find a Caribbean rhythm. We have to keep this music festival alive. We have to also give credit to the Pure Grenada Music Festival team, who are also in the house tonight, because they started the ball rolling 3 years prior. Yeah. Kudos to them. And we want to take it now to the next level. Yeah. As Steve said, to higher heights. Because the lineup, dare I say, is awesome.
Friday night will be dubbed Rhythm and Soul, Saturday Reggae Night, and Sunday Soca. That story just brought the curtains down on the national report for today, Wednesday, February 5th. Let's recap the top story. Chinese ambassador assures that Grenadian students in China are safe. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
All right, so we'd like to say thank you to you guys and whoever is responsible for the production of the National Report. And we're going to have another for you tomorrow, God's willing. And let's take a look at the generic weather quickly before we wrap it up. 27 degrees in St. George's, and precipitation, it says 0%, but there's still a likelihood of some light showers. Humidity 79%, wind 27 kilometers per hour, and tonight's minimum temperature will be just around 24 degrees Celsius. And that's it for the weather report. And let's say hello to the folks who are online. Angel is with us, and Camille and Mishi, Charlene and Shireen, Charmaine, Veron. They say time is up, Mikey. Yeah, time is up. Well, thank you guys. And Veronica, big blessings, Monica, blessings, Glenda and Irma. Thank you for joining us as well. And may God richly bless you and your family. We're going to be touching base again tomorrow, God's willing, being Thursday, the final working day of the week for most Grenadians. It's National Colors Day. Expect to see some colors. And Friday, Independence, we are hoping to give you a live broadcast of the Independence Parade. We'll see how that goes. God bless you and your family. All right? Simone, Doris, Gilma, Lintona, Mom, Mike, Merrill, everyone else on the program, thank you for watching. We have run out of time. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No. See you later. All the best.